Hey guys, so I haven't made a video in a long time. It's been 2 months and I decided today that I would make one, and I'm actually making macaroni and cheese on the stove. I don't know if this is the safest thing. It's probably not. I've only done this 3 times probably. But yeah, I'm gonna be pretty much my video. It's gonna be a story time video. It's gonna be my first date. I haven't made a video in 2 months, but I remember saying that I might make a video about this, and I thought it'd be pretty interesting, so I thought I would do it. So, pretty much, my first date, I guess like the backstory of it, was my friend Jihan. She was one of the few people that knew that I was gay and that I was in the closet and all that. She knew this guy and she thought that he was cute, and I guess other girls thought that too at her school, and he was gay. And so she told me about it, and I was like, well, describe him, and like the way that she described him wasn't really at all what I was picturing in my head. Like it was two different things of what he actually looked like. So I think you know where this is gonna go, and pretty much eventually what happened is the guy asked for my number, and so I gave her my number, but I didn't get his. And then eventually I was talking to her, and then I forgot how it happened. Either I texted him somehow because I got his number eventually, or he texted me. This was a while ago, like this happened in October, so I don't really remember the whole story, like at the very beginning, but pretty much is what happened is we just start to talk, and yeah, we were like talking. It was just like random stuff when you first like meet someone. We just talked about stupid things like how I asked how you met Jihan, then he asked me and what I was into, what grade I was, my age, stuff like that. We didn't go to the same high school, so he asked like where did I go, and so it was just like basic like talking, and we talked about that, like stupid stuff, and pretty much like out of nowhere he just like cut to the chase, and he was like, pretty much he just asked me out, and I was pretty much just told him that I was like in the closet. I didn't know if I was ready for it yet, and that I wanted to talk to him a little bit more. So that's what we did. We talked for a long time. Well, I shouldn't say a long time. We talked like a while, like an hour, and then I remember that the weekend was coming up. So then on the weekend we would like talk like all night. So we talked for a while, we got to know each other, and then eventually he was like, do you want to go out on a date? He asked me again, and I was like, sure. So sorry, hold on, I need a minute. I I I cooked the macaroni too high, and while I was talking I looked down and I saw how like, I don't even know what you call it, like the circular things like on the stove, it got like red, and I never saw it like that, and it freaked me out, and the water was boiling like faster and faster, so I just completely turned it off because it scared me. Okay. I'm just gonna put it back on, but I'm gonna put it like lower than the 3. It sounds pretty good. So I don't even remember what I was talking about. So pretty much he asked me out, and I said yes, and then So before he asked me out, I forgot to tell you guys, he had a picture of me for my Hangouts because that's what we were talking about. Because I asked if he had a group of Hangouts and he did. So he knew what I looked like, but I didn't know what he looked like because it didn't have like a photo of him. So I was like, shit, I don't even know what this guy looks like. I was only into him like of how like he talked, but I didn't really knew what he looked like. So I asked, and he gave me a photo. And pretty much the issue was, it's gonna sound so bad, but like I did not find him like attractive. Like it wasn't my type at all. Sometimes I get scared of making macaroni, I'm not gonna lie. It's kinda sad. Yeah, so he gave me a photo and I just wasn't into him. And I was like, shit, like what do I do? So he asked me out on a date and I was trying to like, he was like, oh, do you wanna go out on a date like this weekend? And I'm like, oh, can't really do it. He was like, well, what about next weekend? And I'm just like, no, he was like, what about next week? And I'm just like, I don't know, like, pretty busy. I can't do it. And then I'm like, okay, great. Like, he's not going to ask again. And he was like, what about the weekend after that? And I'm just like, this is like 2 weeks in advance. Like, I can't act like my schedule is that busy. Like, I'm only 15. So I was like, yeah, I think I might be able to. And he's like, okay, great. And then he asked all this stuff like where you want to meet up. So I couldn't really get out of it. And I felt like I couldn't really say, well, I'm just not attracted to you, because I felt like that would be way too mean. So pretty much time goes on, I talk to him more and more, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll change my mind. And it wasn't working. So eventually the date was about to, come up. And like, I was trying to give him hints like the best I could to tell him that I wasn't interested. And like he was too like what do you call it? It's like when people get too attached too like fast. And I get it, like when you're younger, like my age, he never been in a relationship, he said. So he probably didn't know what he was doing, and I don't know, I just thought it was too fast. And like he started to say like I love you, and I'm like, hold up, like I've never even been on a date with you, like and I was being for real about it. I wasn't trying to make it one of the middle school things where like someone dates for a week and then they break up. Like I was trying to be serious about it, and like I just felt like he wasn't, or he was being like too fast. So I would never say it back. And I just gave him like all these hints, and he still wanted to go out on the date. So finally, the weekend happens, and I'm like, well, I can't get out of it. Just go with it. It's one date, and after the date, could be like, well, I'm not interested. So this is where it gets kind of funny. The date happens. I get to his house. Keep in mind, my mom was driving me to his house. I was in the closet. My mom didn't know that I was gay. My mom just thought we were just friends, and we met through Jihan. And I didn't even know him that well. Like, I knew him, like, 2 weeks, so I felt like I didn't know him enough. Like, I don't hang out with people after knowing them 2 weeks, usually. Less fun with another friend that knew them. So it was just really awkward, and my mom didn't know anything. So there's like this mall, it's called Shoreput Mall, and that's where we were meeting up. And we're driving there, and my mom's asking all these questions, and I'm like, holy shit, she's gonna figure out somehow. And another thing I did not like is this guy was like staring at me deeply, like he liked me or something, like he was attracted to me. And I'm just like, oh my god, my mom's gonna figure out this is gonna be the worst day of my life, and this guy is gonna be to blame. Like, I want to punch him because, I don't know, like, I just want to act like he was straight, or just like we were just friends or whatever. So like, we get to the mall, and we were just, I don't know, my mom was gonna stay at the mall. Yes, stay at the mall. And she was like getting Starbucks or something, I don't know, being basic. And so we're just like walking around. I don't know this guy still. I feel like well enough where I could have like a deep like conversation with him. So we were talking for 10 minutes, and after the 10 minutes, we had nothing to talk about. And we still had like an hour and a half to just do like anything. And after 10 minutes, we were already like, what did we talk about? And it was just really awkward. I did whatever I could just to make any conversation with him. And he didn't really do the same back. I feel like he was just really like shy and awkward, which I mean I get, it's the first date, but it was just, I don't know, I felt like I was the only one trying to talk. So it was kind of just like lame and awkward, and I wasn't having a great time. And it didn't even feel like a first date. So finally, it was getting boring, and then stuff all of a sudden just started to like pick up after like I started talking about something, and he started talking back, and it was like back and forth, and I'm like, okay, great, it's not so awkward anymore. So we're talking, and it's pretty much just basic talking, you know? I don't even know, just like when you first meet someone still. So then, yeah, we're talking. Then we finally go into like this store. It's like the chocolate store, and like, I don't even know. Like, I didn't even get anything. We were just looking, and I just remember I'm like, oh my god, I'm so bored right now. Like, I just want to go home. And then I remember like leaving, and it was like the worst time. Like, it went good, and then it went back down. So, and then we went to, what's it called? Like Auntie Anne's. It's like one of my favorite like pretzel stores, whatever you call it. Like, I love their food. So we went to Auntie Anne's, and I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't know how first dates go. Like, do I pay? Does he pay? Are we gonna split it? And then I remember like watching like some sort of BuzzFeed video on how like when two guys go like on a date, they usually split like the check, and I'm like, okay, great, that's what's gonna happen. And I'm like, that's good because I'm broke as hell and I have like no money to spend on this guy. Like, as soon as I spend it, I'm gonna be broke. And actually, when we went to Auntie Anne's, it was before the chocolate shop. So, anyways, I didn't bring much money because I wasn't planning on spending a lot. I was just gonna look around and talk to this guy. So I just had enough money really for me, so I got a pretzel. And then he just asked out of nowhere like the pretzel he was gonna get like to the people that was gonna like get the pretzels for us. I don't even know. I'm not talking right. Like the cash register person, like I was gonna say my order, and then I was gonna pay for it, and that was it. And then he was gonna pay for his, but then he added on to mine, and I'm just like, oh. So then, I'm gonna have to get my money out. I'm just like, well, maybe he will pay for mine for whatever reason, or he'll pay for his. No, I paid for it, and it was like, by the time I like spent the money, because I remember I brought like $10, and after like that, I only had like less than $2 left, and I like ate the pretzel and he ate his, and I'm just like, I don't know if I like this, and I'm like, hopefully he like buys me something or something like that, because he had like, I remember he had like a wallet and he had money in it, and I was just like, well, maybe he doesn't have that much money, and then I'm just like, but at the same time, he has a wallet, and I just feel like everyone with a wallet has like some sort of money in it. So I'm just like, I didn't know how to react to it. I was just like, whatever. And then we went to the chocolate shop, and I had like no money left because it was just too expensive. Like, I was like a dollar short. And I was like, oh, that looks good, or oh, that looks good, or whatever like that. And like trying to give him like the idea that I like it, like if he can buy it for me. And it didn't happen, so then we just left. And then afterwards, my mom was like, I have to go to Macy's. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she was like, come with me. And I'm like, it's only been like an hour. Like, even though it was a bad date, I just felt like maybe I can like change it. Like, I don't want to go to Macy's with you. But we ended up going. I couldn't get out of it. And while we were there, we were talking. And he kept getting so fucking close to my face. And I'm just like, my mom was like right next to me too. And I could see her. And like, I'm just like, oh my God, like this is not happening. Every time I would try to like get back like a step or two, then he would go forward a step or two. And I'm just like, And I got so annoyed. So then after the date, it wasn't great. And my mom actually was like, hey, is your friend gay? Like, I don't really care, but just, you know. And I'm just like, I don't know. But like, it just didn't go well. And the date was like right after school started. It was either like late September, early October, like around there. And I didn't come out to my mom until, did I come out to her? It was March, because I came out late April. So yeah, I didn't come out to her until it was like March. So this is like 5 months before that happened, and I wasn't ready for her to know anything about that yet. And I'm just like, great, like she's gonna figure out somehow, all because of this guy. And eventually we talked, and like when we talked again, it was like completely different. Like we could talk about anything, but it just when we were like talking like face to face, he couldn't. And I was just like, I don't know, like I can't have this. And I felt bad about myself because I wasn't ready for a date, and it just wasn't a great idea at all. This is gonna be terrible. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm trying to like strain the macaroni. There's not really okay. Usually do it in the sink. There's dishes in here. But let me get this. God, I put way too much oil on it, I feel like. Let's get the macaroni. Yeah, so I wasn't ready to tell her anything, and it was just a bad idea. And he asked me if I wanted to go on another date, and I'm just like, no, I'm good. And he was like kind of sad about it, and he was like, I wanted to know why there wasn't gonna be a second date, and I didn't have like the heart to tell him, like, or the nerve to tell him. I don't know how that shit works, but I couldn't tell him that I just wasn't into him, and it was also a terrible date. Like, I thought he would like figure it out, because I'm like, I can't be the only one here, but I guess not. And yeah, I just wasn't interested. And it was just a really awkward date. Like, my mom was there on half of the date. And that's what I tell my friends when they want to know. I'm like, yep, on my first date, my mom came with me. She came and stayed. But, yeah. So that was the story time of my first date. I don't know if this was interesting to you guys. But, yeah, I got bored, if I would tell you. So, anyways, make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, that's it. Bye, guys.